all set? All right, thank you, Joe. So let's call our meeting to order this evening, September 15, 2015. We're starting the meeting tonight at 6:30. Our goal is to try to have this meeting conclude at roughly 7:15 because there is another meeting at the Senior Center starting at 7:30 involving a visioning session for the Town Center Master Plan. And I know that a number of the selectmen and hopefully residents in town will want to attend that discussion as well. So we have somewhat of an abbreviated agenda. Let me note before we get to the pledge that Selectman Wentworth is on business travel, so he won't be with us. As I just mentioned, if we go beyond 45 minutes, my expectation is that Selectman Panelitis may depart this meeting because he is kicking off the other meeting. So we'll be down to our 3 colleagues if in fact that takes place. So let's begin as we always do with the Pledge of Allegiance. I invite everyone to join. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so we covered some of the logistical details of this evening's meeting. We'll move right into the new business portion of the meeting and ask for a vote out of the gate to execute the warrant for the special town meeting, which is scheduled for Tuesday, October 6, 2015 at 7 p.m. at Tewksbury Memorial High School. The board needs to execute that warrant, and I'd ask for a motion to do the same.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second? A motion made and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye as well. So we'll make that a reality, and move that on. Okay, next on our agenda, we have an applicant who has applied to become a member of the Massachusetts Cultural Council here in Tewksbury. And this actually would be a 3-year term by statute, so we're discussing a term that would end June 30 of 2018. The applicant is Michael Martin of Fisk Street, and he has provided us the Citizens Activity Form. I know that the board's practice in the last few years, pursuant to an adopted policy, has been at its discretion to conduct interviews. I have the sense from my colleagues relative to this application that we don't necessarily feel the need to conduct an interview. So if that is correct information, I would ask for a motion to make an appointment to June 30 of 2018.
So moved. Second.
So we have a motion made by Mr. Panelitis, seconded by Mr. Gay, and that would appoint Michael Martin to the Cultural Council for a 3-year term ending June 30 of 2018. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The chair will vote aye, making that unanimous as well. You also have, in a similar vein, you have application that was in the agenda packet for one individual, Julie Bonavita, to serve on the Public Events and Celebration Committee. And I will note, and I know that my colleagues are aware, that since we published the agenda, we had 2 other applicants for the same committee, Denise Frost and Teresa Nugent. It's my understanding that there are currently 2 vacancies on the committee. These would be 1-year terms. So we now have 3 applicants. Again, I would pose the question, I know prior to the fact that we had 3 applicants, it seemed as though there wasn't a need to conduct interviews. I don't know if the board's preference has changed. We have obviously multiple options here with 2 vacancies. We don't need to take action this evening. We could interview, we could appoint 1 or 2 individuals, or we could take no action at all this evening. I don't know what my colleague's preference is, and I'm open to suggestions. Mr. Gay?
Sure, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make at least a couple of suggestions. Julie wanted me to put her name in before the other 2 people put her in, and she actually volunteered, came on Sunday. And we thought she was excellent, so my recommendation would be to appoint her, so we've already met her. And as far as the other 2 applicants, my suggestion would be, I don't know if you want to act on it tonight, is to expand the committee by 1 member, since we have 2 other people interested. We could certainly use the help of 3 people that works for the Board of Selectmen, but the other 2 individuals also showed up Sunday and volunteered. They were so enthusiastic about what they did. They thought that the committee was great. They met the committee members, and they seemed to fit in fine. So I don't know if it's the board's preference to also interview them, but to expand the committee, my opinion would make sense. You could incorporate all 3 of them on the Public Events and Celebrations Committee. But that's my 2 cents.
Thank you. Any follow-up feedback from other colleagues? Am I right?
I have no objection to increasing the size, given what we've just recently done on EDC.
Okay. Do you want to pose that in the form of a motion?
Yes, I
Mr. Gay?
will.
We'll take it in sequence.
Sure, I will actually make the first motion to expand the Public Events and Celebration Committee by 1 member, which I believe make us 8 members, I think. That's correct, I believe. Is that right? 9.
Be back up to 9.
Okay, sorry. So at least I'd like to make that the first motion to propose before the board.
So create an additional position on the Public Events and Celebrations Committee.
That's correct.
All right. So that motion's on the table. Is there a discussion or a second?
Second.
All right, we have a second by Mr. Panelitis. So I will ask all those in favor of expanding the Public Events and Celebrations Committee by 1 additional position to please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair will support that as well by voting aye. So now you have 3 vacant positions, and you have 3 applicants. And I will just again reiterate, I haven't met any of these individuals, so I am relying on the good judgment of my colleagues to either make appointments or schedule interviews at your discretion.
Sure, I can weigh in that again also. As I said, all 3 of them volunteered on Sunday in the committee met them. They were comfortable with all 3 of them. We thought that they brought a lot of enthusiasm, and they seemed to be really ready to go, and they were helped out as best they could, and they fit in well from what we could see. They certainly understood what our mission was and what we do, and they were very interested in joining the committee and planning for the next event and also for the next event next year. So my opinion would be to appoint all 3 of the applicants. We don't have to expedite things, so we don't have to wait too long. We have a Christmas event coming up soon, so we'd like them to be part of that planning process if that works for the board.
Is there any discussion? You're going to make that in the form of a
Yes,
motion?
I'll make that form of a motion to appoint
Thank you.
the 3 applicants for the Public Events and Celebration.
All right, and for the record, I'll read the names: Julie Bonavita, Denise Frost, and Teresa Nugent. Is there discussion or any second to the motion?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, so we'll take it in a slate as it was presented that way by Mr. Gay and seconded by Mr. Panelitis. And just for the record, Mr. Gay, the term would be through June 30 of next year. Is that part of your motion?
Yes, that'd be fine.
Thank you. Okay, so all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye as well. All right, so we have 3 new members through June 30 of next year. And I would just ask you, or Mr. Gay, if you can make sure they get sworn in.
Yes.
And do all the things
We'll
that they
communicate
need
with
to
them.
do. Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. Okay, we'll turn to the town manager. You have an invoice you want us to review and approve?
Yes, I have an invoice for senior town council in the amount of $7,180.64, and I recommend approval.
I'll make a motion to approve that, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Second that.
Okay, all those in favor of approving the invoice as recommended, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye as well.
The next item was the Economic Development Committee structure and mission statement, but I don't think it made it to the packet.
It did not.
So can we do it the next meeting?
We'll push it off to the 29th.
I meant to send it in.
It's okay.
And just two other things on my report. We received a grant of restriction, limited discharge of dredging and fill material on property in town at 1438, 1470 Main Street. The deed restriction was sent over for the board to approve, and then the Conservation Commission needs to approve. So just got this today. It's a standard deed restriction that we've done in the past. If the board was comfortable, they could vote and approve it, subject to town council review and conservation approval. Again, it's for property owned by Mark Ginsburg, restrictions from 1438 to 1470 Main Street. The restriction is needed and executed by the Selectmen Conservation Commission. It's part of approval from the Department of Environmental Protection at the state level for mixed-use development on Main Street. There's a wetland crossing in the project, so the document assures to the town that no further wetland impact will be created on the property. It's a pretty straightforward document. DEP is looking for the document to be approved and recorded as soon as possible. So once the board approves it, the Conservation Commission will take it up tomorrow night. So if you're comfortable, if you approve it, subject to town council approval and conservation approval. Go that way.
Okay, and that will be consistent with the request to expedite our approval.
Yes.
All right, other questions or concerns about taking that path? All right, so I would ask for a motion to, are we executing or authorizing?
Authorized subject to town council and
Okay.
conservation approval. You can sign it, and I won't release it until I get it.
Okay. All right, so would someone make a motion to that effect?
I'll make a motion to execute the agreement.
Subject to town
Those
council.
restrictions.
Subject to town council approval.
And Conservation Commission.
Yes, and conservation.
I'll second that.
All right, so we have a motion made, and I'll just ask our recording secretary, you got those contingencies? Okay. All right, so motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye as well. So you have documents to sign here?
Right there, yep, just that.
Multiple copies or just one?
Just one.
Just
If
to
you have a copy. Yep, just sign that. And then the last item, Mr. Chairman, I wanted to just report on, as some of you may know, there were votes taken in the town of Chelmsford last night, and the town of Drake the week before regarding, 2 weeks before regarding the regional emergency call center for 911. Drake had passed and approved moving forward with the call center 4-0, but last night in the town of Chelmsford, it was defeated 4-1. Lowell also took up the issue. The city council voted against moving forward their last meeting. We're not giving up hope on it. We are working with a consultant to redo the numbers for the town of Drake and Tewksbury to still do a regional call center, regional 911. Hope is that the numbers still make sense to move forward. But all along, we have said it really hasn't been about the savings, it's been about creating a more efficient operation in regard to emergency response, to providing a state-of-the-art facility in which we dispatch our emergency calls, and to continue to gain greater state incentives for those communities that have gone to a regional center site. And the plan is to still move forward with Drake. The report's being updated, and I'll report back at the next meeting in 2 weeks.
So you think we'll have information by the 29th?
Definitely.
Terrific. Thank you for that. Do you have anything else?
That's it. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so we have a scheduled hearing at 7 p.m. that we can't start till